Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're testing out something which is possibly very old. Well, it is actually very old. It's older than I am. And this game is called the Le Mans 24 Hours 2000. Well, there's a bit of confusion here because it actually was released on 2001 for the PlayStation 2, which we're testing it on. And it actually, believe it or not, also came out 2 years before the PlayStation 2 version came out, or depends on the console, because on the PlayStation 1 came out under Test Drive Le Mans, but for the PlayStation 2 version, which came out in 2001, is called Le Mans 24 Hours. So this means the version of this game should be updated, but not really, because it's just the exact same cost in 2000. Of course, if you know your Le Mans history, that was the year before, a year after the bite of 99 of the flying Mercedes, of course. And it's an interesting time period for Le Mans, because now this is where every single publisher is going for games, and this is one of them. So we'll be testing one of the Le Mans games that actually came out. So please like and subscribe, and let us dive into it. So this game has 5 modes, of course. We have like Le Mans, we have Championship, Quick Race, Multiplayer, Time Trial. Let's go into Quick Race and actually just see how this game actually works. Of course, we have race setup, and we have the GT class, open prototype and closed prototype. So of course this is 2000, season 2000, so we have stuff like the Audi, the LMGT. We also have the open prototype 2, which has the LMP, the Ryan Scott. We have just the basic Le Mans cars, which were around that time, so those classes. And we have the GT class with the Dodge Viper, which was more dominant around this period, with the Porsche, of course. And I don't know what other brand was around there, so which is in the Le Mans. So it wasn't really as much cars around that Le Mans time period compared to now. Of course, it's the new regulations, so it's gotta be different. So anyway, let's dive straight into this, and let's see how this game actually runs. And of course, there's different tracks. We have Darlington Park, we have Suzuka East, Road Atlanta, and Le Mans, of course. So let's just try Suzuki. Right out from the gate over here, we have a weird setup actually. Graphically, it does not look that well. Of course, it looks like an early 2000s PlayStation 2 game, so you just gotta give some slack, although it came out in 2001. So handling is atrocious, I'm not gonna lie to you, because you're not actually using the sticks, you're actually using the D-pad, which I don't know why. So of course, now we overspun this over here. I don't know why they did this, or I think it's because the PlayStation 1 version, of course, back then in that time period, which I've been told, well, I haven't really experienced it because I just grew up during the ps2 ps3 era, so it's more of the D-pad than the actual analog, which for the PlayStation 1 didn't really exist till later on. So it kind of makes sense why it would be on D-pad, but for the PlayStation 2 they at least give it onto the analog. So coming off this first lap, the car is not feeling that well. Of course, you can change the viewing, and it's of course very native in terms of graphically. So, and also handling is just atrocious, and we are about to pass what I think is the closed prototype cars too. I can see the LMP over here, about pass him, and the Audi in front of him. So it's definitely just one class battle over here at Suzuka East. Can you make an overtake? Oh my gosh. And the physics also, we can't, this is more archaic than, which it kind of makes sense also because of the time period as well. And it does feel like we are playing a very native PlayStation 1 game, but with the PlayStation 2 visual upgrade to it. So also in terms of slipstreams look quite decent as we're now approaching a last lap. So far what I've gathered is it's kind of native in its controls, which I don't like these controls at all. Like, thank God they've updated it since then. So coming off these corners here, we're currently sitting in 9th from 12th, so we can't really like qualify in this game like Gran Turismo does. So we had to fight from the back, crawl up all the way to P1. But I mean, there's not much time left, although we can brake late. Also, braking late here is a godsend. Like, it's so much easier to brake later than actually early for some reason. We're about to pass the last. We get P7. We just touch, and there we go for P7, and we finish this race. Well, about across the line now. We finish this race. P7, not a bad start in this game. I mean, visually you can actually see that it's kind of native, but it's not bad for a. If this was an open title, like a very like release title for PlayStation 2, it would make more sense graphically. But at this point, maybe graphically is lacking a bit because of some games like Metal Gear which came out at this time. So yeah, it's not that good graphically or control wise. So anyway, let us dive into the Le Mans mode and see what it gives us, to be fair. So there's Petite Le Mans and there's also the Le Mans General. So let's go into Le Mans General. There's two classes between the GT and the open prototype. So let's just go into the prototype and let's just see which car. Let's go with the Chrysler Viper, to be honest, and let's go dive into the race. Now let's enter into the Le Mans. As you can see here, it's in the wets. We are starting last position because we didn't qualify, and I don't really understand that time over there on the left. It says 18. I think it's 18 minutes, 18 hours. I don't know what's going on here, but anyway, we're going down that chicane for the start finish line, and as you can see us in the far distance, we are there. And let us hope and see how this handles in rain, if there is any rain physics in this game, which I think maybe it could be possible. Let us see, as it's about to be green lights over here, and it's green for us. It's go time. All right, so right up from the straight, it's kind of wet, so I think we have wet tires. I think that's a thing. I don't even know anymore. But like, as we're going down that first corner onto the chicane, you can see try brake check him or brake into him. Of course, gotta take him out because I don't like those controls at all. Like, these controls are actually very annoying. I don't even know how people used to play here. Like, it's quite hard to turn the car with your D-pad than suppose your analog stick. And I don't know what's going on now. Is it rain? More rain coming out? Or is it nighttime now? I'm not sure what's going on now, because it's dark outside. So we brake over here, getting a brake zone. Of course, the physics for in terms of rain is actually doing quite well. It's actually functioning like rain, not like something else like a prop. So like you can see our car's kind of sliding. And also to brake more later because we're gonna, as you can see now, just go off the track. But in terms of speed and like physicality of this car, it's like arcadey. It's just very arcadey. So we're going to that very long straight of Le Mans. It is quite a very far distance. Is this the one with the chicane, if I can remember? Or I think it was the one with the chicane this time period. Now I'm thinking of the older Le Mans tracks here. So we get into a braking zone. I don't know what's that lights thing. It's just like motion blur almost going on. But like in terms of the rain physics, it's even more harder to control the car when you're controlling the D-pad. But we're actually catching up, so I think maybe towards the end of the lap we can catch up to 26. As we break into that corner, that chicane though, we have caught up in this part of the lap here, and we hit again. Of course, there's not really much damage your car can obtain in this game, so that's a bonus, especially with the controls. So we're going to that another straight here over here. And I don't know why it's getting darker and lighter for some reason. I think throughout this video you're gonna notice it a lot. where it's gonna just go darker and lighter. And you can see the slipstream line. Like, what game is it? Midnight Club. Yes, Midnight Club has that line thing that they try to do in that slipstream. Okay, light break. Let's hope we don't go off. There we go. Oh, we're gonna go off again, but it's fine. We have regathered. Now we have connected to P21 in the first lap, so that's a very good maintenance of us right now. We are currently on the hunt for P20 over here, still in lap 1, and I feel like by the end of this corner we might even get him, because this late braking thing is insane. We're getting closer to that Viper over here, getting outside, and we push him out. So that's a good corner there, although you can see like controlling is atrocious in this game. We can catch it to P19 in this lap. Actually, that's actually a really good start. 5 lap positions taken in this race so far. In terms of the overall first experience of this like game, is that like it does have some like, okay, just say it again, it does have some like qualities of just like it stands out as a racing game without its actual like native like Need for Speed type beat. And look at that AI just crashing to that wall there. Of course you can get P18 here because you were gonna have more speed out of that corner now. There we go, and we've taken P18. But not for long though, hopefully, if we do not stuff up this very first corner, which I struggled with, especially with this D-pad. Come on, just get into the brake zone. Get into the brake zone extra carefully. We might go wide, we're going a bit too wide, but it's fine. We're still on track over here, which is lovely over here. While I was doing this race over here, I discovered something very unusual. So over here, before I stopped recording the video, I realized something was off in terms of the race distance, because on the quick race mode, the Le Mans race is 2 laps, right? And towards the end of the second lap, went to the third lap, which wasn't that bad, but then I realized, oh no, something's off. And guess what happened next? With that in mind, that has to wrap up the video. Thank you for watching, and I can see you guys soon. Cheers and goodbye.